We've made plenty of videos about luxury builders on this channel, but the series wouldn't be complete if we didn't include Southgate. And you might be thinking, this video is just going to be about model homes and neighborhood tours, and we will have plenty of that, but it's also about something far more important, okay? The hidden details that could quietly wreck your budget and your peace of mind. So first things first, is this a builder you can trust? And this is a question you need to be asking about any builder. Well, Southgate is what you'd call a luxury niche home builder. And they're focused exclusively on the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So they're not trying to expand nationwide or stretch themselves thin, okay? They're actually a subsidiary of Green Brick Partners, okay, which is a much larger publicly traded parent company. So that connection gives them some solid backing, which is good to know if we're cautious about builder stability, which we should be. Now, in terms of their size, obviously, this is not some giant national builder moving thousands of homes a year. Their annual revenue is sitting at around $5 million. So these are definitely on the smaller side, but that also means their focus tends to be very specialized and intentional. They're not new to the game either, all right? Southgate's been around since 2013. So they've been building homes for around 12 years now. In the home building world, I mean, especially for a boutique builder, that's a respectable track record. All right, they've weathered a full real estate cycle, and that says something. And you know what? They're not just skating by either, okay? They've been racking up awards consistently from 2016 all the way through 2023, okay? They've been named one of D Home's best builders in Dallas. So that's 8 consecutive years of recognition. But here's what matters for you as a buyer, all right? How likely are they to still be around 5 years from now? Well, they have a strong, well-funded parent company and steady sales in a booming metro. So I would say odds are pretty good they're gonna be around. But what if something goes wrong, right? Well, they are smaller, but they're also connected to Green Brick Partners, which means they've got some serious financial cushion behind them. So if we're grading this based on long-term stability and recourse, I would give them an A-, okay? They've got enough history and enough backing to feel confident, but they're still a smaller volume, regional player with limited scale outside of Texas. If you were driving down the street in a Southgate Homes neighborhood, here's what you're gonna notice right away. All right, these are luxury focused single family homes, but nothing about them screams over the top or ultra flashy, okay? They offer 5 distinct home series, and within those, there's a mix of floor plans that vary by community. Their designs, all right, I would say that they lean toward a blend of traditional craftsman and modern styles. Now let's talk about the exteriors, all right? This is where opinions are gonna be split a bit. Southgate doesn't exactly offer the most exciting or unique exterior designs that I've seen from some of our luxury builders. All right, their homes tend to stick within a safe, conservative design lane. Here are some examples. This home has a bit of a modern twist with clean lines, neutral colored brick, and dark accents. Another one has a contemporary take on a 2-story traditional model. You're gonna see sharp roof lines and a modern front door. Then you've got homes like this one that blend classic roof lines with just a touch of modern detailing. There's also this model with black framed windows, a steep gabled roof line, and a curved roof slope over the front entry. And with this one, you have black shutters, arched dormer windows, and a high-pitched hip roof with multiple front-facing gables. Altogether, Southgate currently offers 37 floor plans, but only 5 of those are single-story, and just 4 are 1.5-story plans available in only 4 communities right now. Also, garage options, they're somewhat limited for this being a luxury line. Only 4 plans offer a 3-car garage setup. Now, inside, their homes are going to be more like Highland and Perry as opposed to your much higher end Huntington and Britain. But they're still very nice, and they really specialize in bright and open floor plans. Bottom line, these homes are nice, no doubt about it, okay? They're well executed and thoughtfully designed, but none of the exteriors like really stops me in my tracks, okay? Like I would say with Huntington or Shattuck, like those have some wow factor. Southgate, not really so much. So overall, I'd give their curb appeal a solid B+. But what if you wanted to build from the ground up with Southgate, okay? What would that look like? Well, obviously, first you got to pick out your floor plan. And with Southgate Homes website, it's pretty easy to explore everything. They let you search by quick move-in homes, browse their full floor plan gallery, or even search directly within each specific community. Now, on average, right, you're going to find about 6 to 8 floor plan choices per neighborhood, so there's a decent mix there. For each floor plan, they typically offer 2 to 4 different elevations, and some plans even have up to 8 variations. So you do get some choices when it comes to how the exterior looks, even if most of them lean toward that same like traditional modern vibe. Now, once you've picked a floor plan, you're going to want to customize it. So let's talk about structural customization, because this is where things get interesting. If you start clicking through their floor plans and looking at the PDFs, you'll see a decent amount of structural options. You can add things like a fireplace, swap out a regular back door for big sliding glass doors, add a bar or extra cabinets, enlarge the shower, or even convert a pantry into an extended pantry. All of that falls under minor structural changes. Basically, upgrades that don't mess with the core structure. Now, if you're looking for more moderate structural changes, okay, they do allow some flexibility here too. You can't move major walls or completely redesign layouts, but you can do things like adjusting closet configurations, right? Extending the pantry or reworking bathroom layouts in some plans. So it's enough to tweak the functionality, but not enough to change the bones of the house. Now, as for significant structural changes, okay, we're talking things like, you know, converting media rooms and bedrooms, or I mean, it could be extending covered patios. They do, though, I will say they stay away from anything requiring major exterior framing changes. And I'll tell you right now, okay, if you're dreaming about fully custom, you know, bring your own architectural designs, this isn't that kind of builder. They don't offer that level of custom. Instead, they guide you through their in-house design studio where you can adjust plans and pick structural options, but everything stays within their preset framework. Okay, so now you've customized the home and you want to think about design elements. Well, inside the homes, their design studio really shines. They've got hundreds of curated finished samples for everything. Okay, we're talking, you know, countertops, cabinets, hardware, light fixtures, tile, okay, you name it. Kitchens and baths come with tons of options, and you can also pick from different flooring, paint colors, ceiling styles, trim details, all right, all kinds of built-ins. They even offer smart home add-ons, garage pre-wiring for electric vehicles, audio systems, and window shading upgrades. And their website, it makes the design process pretty approachable. They have a well-organized idea gallery with plenty of photos, a separate gallery of videos and 3D home tours, and another gallery specifically for floor plans. So I really appreciate when a builder gives you that much to browse through. All right, it makes researching from home like way easier. Part of the custom build process is picking where you're gonna put that home, right? Okay, so let's talk about the lot for a minute, okay? We're talking about dirt here. You're gonna find lot sizes ranging from 50 to like just over 70 feet, depending on the community. Don't plan on having Southgate build on a lot you already own, okay? You're not gonna get that with this builder. Overall, I would give them a solid A- here. All right, they have plenty of good options, but everything stays within their set system, which works great for buyers who want flexibility without going fully custom. Let's talk about Southgate Homes warranty coverage, because this is one of those areas where every smart buyer wants to dig in before signing anything. Southgate uses what's known as the 1-to-10 warranty format, which is it's pretty common in the industry, but you know what, it's still worth explaining. So here's how it works. For the first year, your home is covered for craftsmanship issues. So that means anything related to the quality of the work itself. And basically, this is the window where you'll spot most of the cosmetic or minor defects. Then you've got 2 years of coverage for systems. So that's going to include things like electrical wiring, HVAC systems, and plumbing. So if something isn't working right with your air conditioner, all right, or you've got a plumbing issue that's beyond like normal wear and tear, that's where that 2-year systems warranty kicks in. Finally, there's a 10-year structural warranty. And this is the big one, okay? It covers major structural defects like framing issues, foundation problems, or anything else that could affect the integrity of the home. You likely won't need this, okay? But it's there for peace of mind. The actual servicing for your warranty is handled by Southgate Homes for the craftsmanship and systems coverage. And then for anything structural beyond those first couple of years, it shifts over to structure, where you're gonna deal with their process instead of going directly through the builder. So overall, I would give their warranty a B, okay? It's fairly standard, nothing flashy, but it covers the essentials and it has the right partnership in place to back it up. I've seen better, and I've definitely seen worse, but it's solid enough that most buyers are not gonna have to stress about it. Okay, now let's talk about where you can find a Southgate home. Now, Southgate currently has 5 active communities, and every single one of them is located in the North Dallas area. You're not gonna find their homes scattered across the entire Metroplex, okay? They have kept things very focused up north. Specifically, they have 1 community in Allen, 2 in McKinney, and 2 more in Prosper. Now, I mentioned this before, but they don't offer build on your lot options. So if you already have a piece of land somewhere, all right, Southgate is not gonna be the builder for you. They only build within their own pre-planned communities, which means you will have to choose from their available neighborhoods. And the thing is, there aren't actually that many. It is worth noting they are building in some of the most popular and fastest growing suburbs in the region, and they do still cover a decent amount of ground within those cities. So if you're open to living in the north side of town, right, north of Dallas, they've got a good spread. But if you're hoping for options on the west or the east or the south sides of the Metroplex, okay, you are out of luck here. So all things considered, I would give them a C for location variety, okay? They are building in some high demand suburbs, but they're still pretty limited to one general area. Well, now that you know where you can find them, how many choices will you have? Well, Southgate currently has about 62 homes available across their communities listed on New Home Source. These include quick move-in homes, homes that are under construction, and lots that are ready for you to build in. So whether you're looking to move right away or you want to customize your new place from the ground up, they do have options. Now, if you're focused on just quick move-in homes, all right, the MLS currently shows they only have 19. All right, so compared to some of our other production builders, all right, this is seriously slim pickings. When it comes to volume, like how many choices you have on the ground, all right, I would say Southgate Homes lands at a solid C+. But how about pricing? Well, I mentioned they're a luxury home builder, so let's talk about how that's going to equate into dollars and cents. Southgate offers a pretty broad price range in their upper sphere, okay? Their homes start, with inventory homes around $836,000 on the low end, and then going up to about $1.3 million at the top. Of course, the final price really depends on any customizations, right? We know that. So you can expect to pay more, if you want upgraded finishes or extra features. If you're searching for the most affordable option in their lineup, you're gonna find it in the Painted Tree community, specifically in their 50-foot series homes. These are going to tend to come in with a comparatively lower price tag. Now, on the flip side, the highest prices you're gonna find are in Windsong Ranch's 71-foot series, as well as the Reserve in their Waters communities. These are going to be known for their upscale amenities and bigger lots. For the overall price range, I would give Southgate a solid B. Okay, they cover about a $600,000 spread between their lowest and highest price homes, which is pretty good, but it's not the widest range compared to some of our other luxury builders here in Dallas. Now, I want to talk about Google reviews for just a minute. Southgate's highest rated community is Windsong Ranch 61s, which holds a perfect 5-star rating. Now, you have to keep in mind though, that's based on just 4 reviews. On the flip side, their lowest rated community is Painted Tree 50s with a single 1-star review that mentions a rude salesperson. So it's tough to take that as like a full reflection of the community or builder. One really positive 5-star review from a Windsong Ranch 71s buyer sums things up pretty well, I would say. They said they had a great experience. building with Southgate, especially praising the sales rep and builder. They noted the quality craftsmanship during the pre-close inspection, and they continued to have good experiences with warranty requests. That's the kind of review that really shows Southgate homes are built solidly and the buyers feel supported. Interestingly, some of our lower reviews tend to focus on bad experiences with salespeople rather than the quality of the homes themselves. So this highlights how much the people you interact with can shape your overall impression of the builder, separate completely from the actual quality of the product. So overall, about 60% of all reviews fall at 4.5 stars or higher, while 40% are 4.4 stars or lower. Across all Southgate communities, all right, that brings us to 5 total community reviews considered here. So based on that mix, all right, Southgate earns a B+ grade. This tells you that while most buyers have positive experiences, okay, there's room for improvement, especially in customer service. But the homes themselves, buyers seem to generally be happy with them. Now let's talk about an area that I think is extremely important. Okay, so let's talk about Southgate's contracts. Now, Southgate uses a pretty standard contract overall, but there are a few things that you need to know. So let's point those out. First off, they have a default-based convenience clause. It's fairly typical to see these in our new construction contracts. Okay, so no surprise. If you're not familiar with what that is, basically, it allows the builder to cancel the contract at their own convenience if there's a dispute. Another feature they have that I actually really like is they allow for tax reproration, because many times property taxes are not prorated correctly at closing. And the reason for this, okay, if you didn't know that, is that the home is still valued at land value a lot of times at closing. So the builder gets away with paying way less than he should. Now, Southgate allows the taxes to be reprorated after closing if this happens, and not a whole lot of builders do that. Okay, so this is a definite plus. On the downside, there's no appraisal protection in their contract. Now this is pretty much the norm with new construction, but you still need to know if your home appraises for less than the purchase price, you don't have built-in protection to renegotiate or back out without penalties if you're using a conventional loan. Like, you will have to make up the difference in cash. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Now, another thing to watch out for, okay, is their late fee if you can't close on time. Like, it is set at $250 per day. And honestly, that is on the high side compared to some other builders. So you really want to be mindful of that. Now, overall, I would give this contract a B+. All right, it's nothing out of the ordinary compared to other builders, with really the only plus being that they allow tax reproration. So after all that deep dive into Southgate, the good, the bad, the surprising, all right, you're probably feeling a bit more prepared to make a smart move. Now, if you want to keep sharpening your edge and avoid costly mistakes, I have a whole playlist of builder reviews waiting for you right here. So go ahead, dive in, earn those YouTuber points, and get the full picture before you commit. This is Wendy Pinnell, and I'll see you there.